Inside the lab with your boy AK, and today on the KitLab, we finally got our pair of Phantom Venoms from Nike Football. I am super excited. It's been a minute. I've known about it for a while, but finally we can get into the nitty gritty of the boot. But it's also a sad day because it is the death, of course, of the Hyper Venom series. And after a good 4.5-year run, it's finally come to an end and there's a new game killer in town. But if you want to know more about the Hyper Venom in itself and its whole history, click that little link right there. But let's talk about the boot in itself and start off with the upper. So we're going to talk about the Flyknit construction. That still stays the same with the Phantom Venom. It goes entirely around the upper of the boot, going from the toe box through to the heel counter. But what you do have are a couple new bits of design specs. So firstly, with the toe box, you've got this micro texture honeycomb upper, kind of similar to what you found on the original Hyper Venom, but more condensed. And we're going to head into the inside of the foot, that medial side, and we've got a brand new bit of tech from Nike in terms of these polyurethane blades. Essentially, you've got 13 blades on the instep designed for strikers in particular to keep the ball low. And how does that work, you ask? Well, you've got the smallest ridges at the bottom here, or blades should I say, and as you come up the foot towards the top, the blades actually increase in height, and what that enables you to do, according to Nike researchers, is to help minimize that ball from rising. So if you're a striker, we all know that keepers find it super difficult when you strike low into the corners. This is going to be a little baby right here. That being said, you also have Brio cables attached underneath the fly wire on all lace points, allowing you to have a locked-in fit and customizable fit to your foot, which is very important, of course. You want the boot to feel like your own. And that was previously used, of course, on certain Superflies and even a couple editions of the Hyper Venom as well. Heading in towards the heel counter. Now, the heel counter is an anatomical fit, which is great because it cups your heel, so you get, again, lockdown from the back of the foot as well. But what I noticed in particular was this felt lining here. And if we're talking about comfort, that is absolutely sublime. And like, it's such a small detail, but the difference it can make, especially when you wear it first time and head straight onto pitch, could be the difference between having a great game and a poor game. So credit to Nike for adding that to it. Other than that, you've still got the traditional TPU coating over the top, and you've got, of course, all conditions control technology. So whether it's wet, dry, snowing, your touch isn't compromised with the boot. All right, so traction is next. And although they have the hyper-reactive sole plate, it isn't actually the same one that you find on the Hyper Venom Phantom 3. It's actually an upgrade. So the 2.0 version has these TPU islands. And what they basically do is, in the center part of the boot, where you need stability and support, it's rather rigid and firm. But Nike took inspiration from the Nike Free Run, the running shoe, to have flexibility in the forefoot, which means that when it comes to pushing off, getting away from that marker, and getting your shot off, you have a lot more traction, it's a lot more aggressive, and as a result, you perform a lot quicker. So those strikers that are up top, you need an extra boost in your first step, you've got that spring right here. So my final verdict on the Phantom Venom. Well, I'll start with the design of it, and I feel like it's a mixture of not just two boots, because everyone's been talking about the Total 90 Laser 4 and the Hyper Venom. If they merge together, it's this. No, it's not, because there's also an additional boot, the CTR 360 Maestri, and that lateral part definitely reflects that a lot. But as a boot, it actually looks great. I like the fact they've thought about the different design features on the boot. I'm very impressed by the suppleness of the toe box. I think that's going to be a great feature for both first touch and dribbling when it comes to 1v1s, attackers versus defenders. I'm very intrigued about these blades as to whether they're going to help in terms of striking the ball and give that powerful yet precise finish. But overall, it's well put together. I'll give it to Nike. I'm impressed. I just don't think it warrants the end of the Hyper Venom. I still think this really should be the Hyper Venom Phantom 4 rather than the Phantom Venom. So now you're gonna get this confusion of Venom versus Vision, even though they're both about being precise. Let me know about your thoughts on the boot in the comments below, and subscribe, of course, like all that beautiful stuff, and we'll see you on pitch for the playtest of these bad boys. I'm AK signing out. Peace.